Yeah, hi guys. So this is our in our previous session. So this is the application that we have developed, that is nothing but in the Angular routing. Now in this one, now let's try to see the structure. So we are having something like home, about us, and a categories thing, and we have it something like user/1/Leela. We are able to have it. So now in this session, what we'll try to learn is we'll try to learn about the another concept, that is nothing but a child routing. So how we can implement the child routing and what is a child routing in our Angular routing. Let's try to see it. For example, let's say that I have a users component. So I will be creating a users component, then you'll understand it. So ng-gc users. Let's create ng-gc users. So it is created. Let's go to the users component, and in this users component, let's say that, and here let's try to add a navigation, right? That is our navigation. Yeah, in this navigation I am adding a users. Okay, so let's go to the users, and this one will be something like users. Fine. If I try to see the output, here at the bottom I am able to see another new one, users. If I click on that users, so nothing is there. So slash categories we are able to see. So slash users, nothing is present. So let's try to add a routing for that one. Here if I go, if somebody opens path of type users, and it should load a component, users component. Okay, that's it. Now let's try to see the output. Now if I try to see the output, let refresh, and if I click on the users, I am able to get the users. Fine. So now here in this one I want to show some list of users. So let's go to this users component.html file, and here I will try to add some ul, and here I will try to add li, okay, it's taking time rather than this one, so we can write on our own li. Inside this one anchor link, so go to Leela user, and another one what I can write is, so I can write go to with user, and another one I can write is, so something like this. We have a users, so here go to user, sorry, or something like that. I will write it. So here I will be having a router link. So it should be something like, we have a routing, right? User slash id slash name. So like that I will try to add. So slash user slash 1 slash Leela. So this is the router link, and here if I try to use the same thing, and here I will be having Mohit. So let's try to keep it as an id2, and here also the same thing we'll have Navneet, and here I will be having 3. So these are the routers I am having. Now if I go into this one, so these are the 3 links that I am able to see. Whenever I am going to the users, I am able to see go to Leela and Mohit. If I click on this one, I am able to see that user single user id1 and Leela. So how we are able to design, right? Here go to Leela page, so id1 and Leela, the same thing. So here it will be navigating to the single user, and here we will be catching the id and the name, so which we have seen it earlier in our previous session, and I am showing this id of 1 and Leela. Okay, so now, and also the navigation what we are having. So here the navigation we will be having, sorry, in the app module. So here we will be having this navigation thing, user id slash name, that need to go to the user component. So I made use of that one. So in the users details, so I am using slash user slash 1 slash Leela, slash 1 slash 2 slash Mohit, and slash 3 slash Navneet. I made use of those things so that I can navigate to the different types of users like this. Now those things in the user component, it will catch this id and name, and it will show these details according to that one. If I try to click on this one, it is showing. So now let's go into this one. So here we are having this one Navneet, right? Now here there is some disadvantage, not disadvantage, some problem is there. Why? Because now I want to see the Leela user. Okay. Now I want to see the Mohit user details now. So okay, I found that Leela user. Okay, he is having an ID of 1 and name Leela. Okay, but I want to see the Navneet or Mohit details. How can I see? Now I want to go to the users again, and I need to click on the Mohit again. If I want to see again another user, I want to click it like this. So this could be something like we are doing 2 steps repeatedly. So it would be better for us if I click on the Leela user, so that the down, if it tries to show me the complete details, it will be very fine for us, right? So Mohit, if I try to click on the Mohit, down it should show the Mohit details. If I click on the Navneet, down it should show the Navneet details. Then it would be fine for us, so that I can click whatever the user I want. I can see the details at the bottom. So this is the thing I want to do it. So already what I want to show is, so here we are having a routing. So this is itself is coming in a routing, router outlet. Okay. So this is itself is coming from a users component. If you try to see, so this itself is coming from a router outlet from the app component.html. Okay. Now what I want to do is, in this one down, I want to show the user component. So here down, I want to show the user component. So app-user, something like this. Okay. App-user. So somehow I want to show the app-user. Now here at the down, it needs to show the app-user. So if you try to see, ID and name are coming it as empty. So why we are giving it as empty? So if I click on the Mohit, so it is going to the users page, but I want to show it down details. If I click on the Mohit, I want to show the down details on ID and name. So how we can show? So now the ID and name, these are catching from the user.component.ts, right? So these are catching from the router concept, route.snapshot. It should come as a routing thing, user. So now how can I send here? So this one, you should not add it directly as an app user. So here the router has to decide it. So here we need to keep a router outlet. Okay, here again we need to keep a router outlet. This is called as a child routing. Why? Because this is already a routing. Inside this one, we are trying to apply the routing again. So this is called as a child routing. Now I want to show the details here. So how we can show it details is, let's go to the app module, and here we are having the users. Okay, inside the users, I want to show the user details. So this complete thing is in users detail. So here we have written this one in the users component. So now what I want to do is, so here I need to add a children. Okay, so inside this one, I want to develop a root, child routes. So this is an array, and here I will be writing something like path. Okay, it should be, we need to copy this one. Okay, we can copy this one automatically, and we can paste it here. Okay, children. So for these users, we are having a children path, and there is no need to mention the user here. Why? Because it will take this path, parent users it will take, and user / ID / name it will be. So users parent combination with the children. So user / ID / name. And here I will be showing the user component. Now in this users component, you will be having a router outlet. So you will be having a router outlet, so that this child route will be loaded in this router outlet. So the same scenario we have added here. The users component, we have added router outlet, so that the child component, child routing will be loaded. If I try to show you the output, and here we need to change it to users. Why? Because so we are dependent on the parent, right? So we can change it to users. So now let's try to see the output. If you try to see the output, if I click here, see, I'm able to see the output. Now if I go here into the Navneet, I'm able to see the output. So for example, now I want to click on the user. If I try to click on the user, so here the routing has been changed, but here I am not able to get the output. So I'm able to see only the Navneet details only. So users 2/Mohit. Now I want to see the Mohit details. So what it is happening here? So now fine, I am able to see the bottom, the output, but I want, whenever I am clicking on the particular user, those particular user details should be displayed, but here only one details are only displaying. So why it is happening here? For example, if I go to categories, and if I come to the user, if I click on the Leela user, so now I am able to get the Leela, but afterwards I am not able to get any details. If I go to categories, and if I come here, if I click on Mohit, now I am able to see the Mohit details, but afterwards when I am clicking other users, I am not able to see. So what is the reason? So one thing what we have understood is, only the first time we are able to see the details and afterwards when we are trying to change the routing and all those things, it is not responding. That means the user component is not responding. So what is the problem here? Let's try to see it. Let's go to the user component. Okay, we know that ng on init, when it will fire, so it will fire only when the component is loaded. So that too, it will fire only one time when the component is first time loaded. So here the first time loaded means, for example, let's say that here the user component is not existing. The first time, if you try to observe, the user component is not existing. Now when I click on this one, the first time the user component is getting loaded. Because of that reason, ng on init fire, fine, done. Now I click on the Mohit user. So now already the component is already loaded. Okay, the component is already loaded. So then this ng on init will not fire. Okay, why? Because already this component is loaded, ng on init will not fire. So now if this ng on init does not fire, so then it will not catch this ID and the name. Okay, so this ID and name will not catch it. Only the first details only it will catch, and it will not catch those details. So how we can do this one? So here in this route, we have a method. Okay, this dot route dot params. Okay, we have a params, and we can go on listen to this one. So we need to subscribe to this params. So we have a method. It is an observable. We'll try to learn it in the next session. So you need to understand it. It will go on listening to the listen to this params thing. Whenever the params changes in the URL, it will execute a method. Okay, here it will get the data, or otherwise it will get a params. You can take it as a params, and in this one you can write this dot id is equal to params of id, and here this dot name is equal to params of name. Oh, params of name. So now what we are trying to do, so this dot route dot params, whenever these params are changing, immediately this method will execute. I will try to show you. Console params changed. That means the URL parameters has been changed. Now I will try to show you the output. Now for example, let's try to go into this one in the categories. Right now I am in the categories. Let's inspect the element. Let's inspect the element in the console.log. Okay, so this is the previous one. Let's try to refresh it. Okay, so we are not able to see anything. Let's go to the users page. So now when I click on this Navneet, we are able to get that params has been changed. Params changed means, so now this one has been executed, and ID and name we got it. Now let's try to see. I will click on this another user. If I click on this one, again we got a params change. Why? Because at the top URL has been changed. Immediately we are able to get the result here. If I click on the Leela, I am able to get the details here. See, this is how we can use the param subscribe. So in the route, in the activated route, we have a method, we have a property params, and we can subscribe to this params. Whenever this params changes, this subscribe method will execute. So this is the thing you need to understand. So we will be using this all subscribe thing very heavily. We'll try to learn about this one. Try to understand this one. So as a basic thing, so we will subscribe to this one in a such a way that every time when the params changes, this will execute. So this is how the child routing works. So here let's try to see what we have did here. Now I want to show the users details. Right now previously it was an users component. So previously it was like this. I want to show the users details, single user detail inside the users. Okay, inside the users component. So that means inside the users component I want to show it. So then what is that I have did it? I have made it as a children. So you have a property that is nothing but a children, and again it is an array. It will take the routing again, same like the routing how it will be taking. It will take like a routing, and it will be the combination of parent users slash id slash name. So now here it will load the user component. In the users component we need to add the router outlet so that this child routing will be loaded. So this is how we have did it. So this is called as a child routing or the nested routing. And again if you want to add in the user if you want to add in the user routing again means, so you can have another children here. Okay, another children here. So you can use it like this. So it goes on like this. So now you need to maintain route routlet in the user component also. So if you have a children, so like this, you need to go on maintain like this. You can maintain it. So this is called as an child routing or the nested routing. Let's move on to this next topic. So for example, let's say that I am writing some XYZ here. Okay, if I try to run some XYZ, it is moving to the home page automatically. So we need to have a 404 page. 404 page, if you try to understand, it is a not found page. So whenever you want to type something like let's say google.com, okay, so which the page doesn't exist. So like this I am writing, and if I try to click on this one, so we will be able to see 404. This is an error. So why? Because you are trying to request a URL which doesn't exist, so it is not found. So they have designed their own custom page here. This is called as an 404 custom page. So normally you will be having a custom page, something like another one, browser's standard 404 will be having, but the Google itself, they will be telling that you have reached a URL which does not exist. So for every URL, for every web application, you will be having this custom 404. So in our same scenario, if we are trying to do something, somebody types some URL which doesn't exist, so now we need to show that 404 page. So how we can show that one? Let's try to see. So let's try to design a not found page. Okay, so first I will try to add a not found page. NGGC not found. So everybody who comes to the URL which doesn't exist, they need to move to the not found. So here let's try to generate it. Why this taking this much of time? Yeah, it has created. Now if I go to here, I will try to add the path not found. If anything is not found, okay, then I need to load the component not found component. Okay, that's it. Now let's go to the not found. Hey, why it is not saving? Don't save. App module. So here I will try to go path not found not found, and the component is not found component. Okay, so now here this is the component. So whenever the user comes to the not found, so we should show the not found component. Fine, let's go to this not found component. Where is this one? Yeah, so I will try to show that I will try to show an HY or something like this. The page you are trying doesn't exist. Okay, so like this we can do it. Let's try to say. Now that's it. Now let's go to the not found. Let's try to say not found. We are able to see the page you are trying does not exist. Okay, so the page you are trying does not exist. We are able to see it. Now what I want to do is, so now somebody users types on this one. Okay, so somebody users types on this one. So I need to redirect it to the, instead of home page, to the not found page. How can I do is, so in our routing we have a wildcard route. Okay, it is called as a wildcard route. So it should be mentioned at the bottom of the routing only. So now if none of the paths matches the routing, then this one will be executed. Path, and you need to mention it as a double star. And here what we need to do is, so none of the paths are matching. So what you need to do is, so here we need to have a redirect to. So to which route I need to redirect? So here I need to write not found. Okay, so this is called as an wildcard routing. 1 second. Yeah, so now here what is that I want to explain you is, here this is the wildcard route. So that means anything that this has categories, about us, users slash ID slash name, these all the things are there, means routing is matching, means it will load this appropriate component. If none of the things, so for example, let's say that users is there. So if you are having slash users, it will load the users component. Okay, it will load the users component. So this is fine. But if you have did the spelling mistake in such a way that you have kept it double s, okay, so now if you have kept it double s, now the user, what I can say here, none of the path is matching here. So the path here it will not match, here it will not match. Then it will load this star star. Star star means any wildcard. It will take the any routing other than this one. So it will try to load the not found page. So here if I try to write double s and if I try to see it, so it has redirect to the not found C. So that means the whenever the user opens any page, so it will move to the thing. So this is called as an 404 not page. So here if you try to mention, the placement of the routing is very much important. So now if I place it here at the top, so now what will happen here? Anything if I try to press it, nothing will work. Okay, whatever the thing I am pressing here, nothing is working. All the time you'll be able to see the page you are trying does not exist. Why it is happening this one is, when you click on the about us, it will try to search for the about us. So is there any routing present in the about us? So now first it will try to check this path. First it will go from the top to bottom. It will try to see this path star star. Okay, star star means anything if it matches, I need to load this one. So it will redirect to the not found. So redirect to not found means it will search for the not found path. Okay, here it is not found is there. So I need to load this not found component. So that is the reason it is loading this not found component. Okay, so like this it will be happening. So now any routing will not work. So that is the reason what I want to tell you is, so please add it at the bottom only, wildcard route. So wildcard route should be added at the bottom. Why? Because so these all top to bottom approach, when these none of the routes are matching means then automatically this one will be loaded. Why? Because we are using star means everything will match. So redirect to not found means it will go to the not found path and it will try to load this not found component. So that is the thing I want to explain you. If you want, you can also use this component, not found component also you can use it. But what I want to do is I want to have a single source entry so that it can move to the not found. If you want, you can also remove this not found and you can load a component. Not found component. So now if you try to see, you will be able to have home, about us, users, these all things you are having. Now if I try to write anything, so then also you'll be able to see this one, but here you'll be having a URL, so whatever the URL you have typed, it will not redirect to the not found. So just I want to show you that redirection also because of that reason. So whenever the user types anything, okay, so we can make him to redirect to the not found. So not found means nothing but, so this component, that one we have seen it, right? We have removed this not found. Okay, so like this we can move it. So we are moving it to the path. So this is how we will be having. So this is what about the 404 loading page. And another thing what I want to tell you is, the thing is, for example, let's say that users.component.ts. Let's say that I am having an edit user component. ngGC edit user. So let's try to load this component edit user. So edit user component has been loaded. If we go to the user component.html, here I want to add a button or anything, href edit user, and we can remove this one and we will be having a router link. Router link is equal to, so here I can write /users /id. So this is the dynamic one, right? ID and also the name, and I want to keep edit at the end. That's it. Now let's try to see what will happen. So here if I go to the categories, if I go to the users, if I click on the Leela user, I'm able to see an edit user. So that one is having something like, it will go to the not found. Why? Because it doesn't have any user. So it doesn't have any URL matching that user /1 /Leela /edit. We don't have anything like that. So let's try to create a route for this one. So user /id /name, up to here only we have a route. We don't have an edit. Let's go to the app module, and here I will be adding path. If somebody comes, :id /name /edit. somebody comes with like this. So load the component, edit user component. Okay, so like this you can have it. Now if I try to see the output, let's go to the users and let's go to the Navneet, and if I click here edit user, see I'm able to see the edit user component here. So now it is working fine. Now what I want to do is, for example, let's say that I have a query params for this one. Which one? For user component. For this not user component, users component. For this users thing, I'm having a query params, something like, we know that, right? How to add the query params. So query params is equal to, it is an object and we are having a name of type Leela. So query params I am trying to use, and hi colon Leela. I'll try to use like this. So now I have a query params. So let's try to add for all of them. So somehow we are having a query params. So here we'll be having the same name. We'll try to use the same name. And here also we'll be having a query param. So let's try to say that now we are having here also. Yeah. So now we are having, for everyone, we are having a query params. Let's try to see the output. So whenever I click on this one, we are able to see a query param is attached at the top. That is nothing but question mark name is equal to Leela, hi is equal to Leela. We are able to attach it. Okay. So now when I click on the edit user, if I click on the edit user, suddenly the query parameters has been gone. Why? Because it's common thing only. Why? Because we are using user component.html and we are using router link is equal to edit/edit. So we are losing the query params. So one thing what you can do is, so here you can go into this one and here you can capture the query params. So this dot route dot query params. So you'll be having a query params dot subscribe, and you can subscribe to this one and you will get the query params here and you can get those details. So one thing is enough. So now every time, so when you want to do this one, so you need to do it in the each and every component you need to do it. What I want is my requirement is, whenever I click on the Mohit, so Mohit has a query parameters of name Mohit and hi Mohit, and I want to carry these query params to the edit user also. Now here also the edit user also should contain question mark is equal to like this. So it should carry along wise, it should go on carrying like that. So for this one, what we can do is, so for this one in the user component.html, so here you will be having an option that is nothing but query param handling. Okay, so you can have a query param handling is equal to, you can use preserve. Okay, preserve means it will preserve, it will maintain those query params like that only. If I try to see the output, let's try to see it. I am having a Leela something like this. If I click on the edit user, see now the query params are preserved like that only. So now it is carry forward. If I try to click on the edit user, it is carry forwarded. So these are nothing but the preserving the query params. And also we have another type of thing that is nothing but a merge also. Merge means these you will be already adding the query params to this one, and already query parameters are coming from the URL. So these two things will be merged. So preserve and a merge. So we will be having two things. What I can say through the proper through the TypeScript logic, how you can do is, let's try to see the button edit user. Just you try to remember. So we will be not using more often, but sometimes we'll be using. So click on edit user. So this is the thing. So whenever the user clicks on the edit user, we need to navigate. How can you navigate? We know that on edit user, so we need to navigate. So navigating, we need to have a router. So private router. Now here I can use this dot router dot navigate. What happened to this one? Navigate is not telling. Okay, let's try to write it out. One navigate of, and here you will be having an array. So you need to tell which to where I need to navigate. User slash this dot id slash this dot name. So these are the details, right? We'll be having, and edit. So it should move to the edit, and here you can write something like an object, and here you'll be having an option query params handling. Okay, so this one you can maintain. So you'll be having two options, merge and preserve. You'll be able to see it at the IntelliSense. So you'll try to make it as a preserve. That's it. Through the coding, through the TypeScript logic, we will be using it like this. Now if I try to see the output, let's go to the about us and all those things, users, and if I click on the Mohit and if I click on the edit user, what happened? I think I have given something name wrong. I think Mohit, I am clicking on the edit user, router slash, okay, it should be user slash users, right? So we have made renamed that one. So let's go to this users and Mohit and edit user. See, through the coding also I maintain it as reserve. So through the template you will be having the query params handling like that, and through the coding you will be having like this query params handling. Okay, all are available in the template and TypeScript logic, both vice versa. Just you should know that syntax and the concept, that's it. Syntax you can learn it from the documentation if you know the concept. So this is all about the preserving and merging of this query params when we are traversing from one navigation route to the other navigation route. How we can send these query params to the URL. So like this we will be doing. So this is all about the routing concept. Now if we go here into this app module, okay, so this is our app module. If you try to see, this app module is going on getting bigger and bigger. Okay, so app module is responsible for registering of the components or directives, whatever the things we are having. That is the only thing responsible. But we are having two types of features. That is nothing but routing also is getting defined, and also the declaration of the components is also getting defined. So we can make these routing concepts and all those things, we can divide it into a separate file also. How we can divide it is, let's try to see. So here we will be creating a new file, app routing .module.ts. Okay, so this is a new file I have created, and this one will be something like export class app routing module. It's a module, right? So module. So you'll be creating a module here. So the naming conventions are very important. So how I have named this one, app-routing. So here A is capital and R is capital. Why? Because hyphen is there and the module is there. I have mentioned this module. So in the same scenario, if it is a component, you will mention it as a component. And as this one is a module, so you need to use the ng @component. How you will be using in the same scenario, we need to use the @ng module. Okay. So we'll be using @component directive, right? In the same scenario, we need to use this @ng module. Now let's go to the app module.ts. Let's copy these all the things, remove it, and we can paste it here. So we want to make it as a separate thing. So let's try to import these all the things. Routes, import, home component. Let's import. Sorry. So will this come or not? It will take time. I understood. So now we have removed these all the components. Let's try to see it. Let's go into this one. Now let's try to load this home component. Oh, still it is not loading. Yeah. So home, let's try to import these all the things. So top you will be able to see the imports thing. So if I'm trying to import, you'll be able to see it. So let's try to import these all the things. So normally what we'll try to do is we'll try to first time only we'll try to create a new file and we'll try to do it. But I want to show you how we can do in different ways. That is the reason I'm trying to show. So now I have added all the imports of these components and all the things I have added. So that's it. Now what I can do in this one, so where we have declared in the app module, in the imports, right? So let's remove this one. So there is no need of this one. So in the imports, we have declared this router module, right? Let's go into this one, and I can add an imports here, router module. Let's import this router module dot for root. Okay, this is the root module. So for root, and I can send this app routes into this one. That's it. Now what we need to do is, so I need to use this routing file inside the app module. Somehow we need to have a relationship between these two modules. I have created a new file and I've added all these things. So but somehow app module has to know, right? So there is a routing module available. So please try to make use of this router module to load the routing. So here what you need to do is, here I need to use app routing module. So here I need to use app routing module. So I am injecting that file into this one, imports. So import this app routing module. And here, so you need to send, so anybody who is importing this file, so what are the things should be available to the file that is going to be imported. So here you need to write exports, and here you need to write the router module. Okay, so this is the thing which should be able to access if somebody uses this app routing module in the imports. So now the whatever the things that are available in the exports, those only will be able to use it. So here I need to use this router module, so that is the reason I'm exporting it. Now if you try to see the output, the same output we are able to see, but we have divided into a separate thing, but we are able to access all the things. So this is how we can separate this all file app routing module. Now this app module looks linear. So previously how it was there, so like this only we are able to see it. So like this we can maintain a separate URL for a separate routing module. So this is all about the complete information about the routing. Okay, so let's try to create a new file, and I will try to show you how we can do this one. Let's open this one, reveal in file explorer. How this Angular CLI will create, let's try to see it. Angular. So I'm opening a command prompt. So I'm opening a command prompt here. Try to open a command prompt. Yeah. So here in the command prompt, let's go to ng new. I am creating a new project again. Angular CLI routing. So creating a routing through CLI. Let's try to press enter. It will ask you first time, do you want to create a routing file? So do you want to create a routing for Angular? So would you like to add a Angular routing? This time I will try to press enter. Why? Because I want to add a routing. So we have seen it manually how we can create the routing. So we'll see that how Angular CLI creates the routing. So yes. So what is the CSS? Yes. Now here if you try to see, so if you go on Angular JSON package.json, these all the files are getting created. Okay, fine. We know that these all files, about these all files. And if you come down, why it's not coming down? Not come down, I think. Let's try to minify. Yeah, here if you try to see here, it is trying to create app routing.module.ts file. See, previously it was not created. This time I told that Angular routing, I want Angular routing. So now it has created Angular routing module.ts file. Let's try to see what are the contents that are available in this Angular routing. So here it is creating Angular app module, app component. These all the things are getting created, and also we are able to see app-routing.module.ts, which we have did it in our just now. We have created a separate file, right? In the same scenario, Angular CLI is also creating a separate file directly. But why I have explained you at the last is, so you want to understand. So now here the Angular routing has been installed, now created. So now let's go to the so this time what I will try to do, so here let's try to write cd-angular-cli routing. So let's try to open this one in the Visual Studio Code. Let's try to close our previous one, or otherwise we'll try to keep it so that we can see. Now here this is the project which was created through the CLI. Now let's go to the source app, and here you will be able to see app-routing.module.ts. If I try to open here, see, now first time it hasn't created any routes, so we need to create the routes, and it has created the import and also the export, and these all ng module. So just now whatever we have added, it has created a file, empty skeleton, and in the app module.ts, if you try to see here, it has added that app routing module. That's it. So this has did the concept, but you need to understand the concept. Okay, previously how I have did, so the same scenario the app CLI also has did it. Now you can start adding the routing here. So you can create the components, and you can say that path empty, and the component I need to load is the home component. So like this you can go on write the routing thing, so there is no need to worry. So this is all about the routing concept. Let's open this notepad. So what are the concepts that we have learned? So if I try to open this notepad, so let's go into this one. Yeah, so we have implemented the child routing using the children, and included the 404 using the wildcard ***, and we have divided the routing configuration file, that is nothing but an app-routing.config module.ts. okay, so we have created, and also we have seen through the CLI also how it is creating, and also we know we have learned about the preserving the query params also, query parameters while navigating. So these are the concepts that we have learned Angular routing. In the next session, what we'll try to learn is, so if I want, I can also complete it, but you will get confused. So after completing this one, we'll try to do a sample categories demo like that. CRUD operation, we'll try to do it using this routing thing. Then you can easily understand it, everything. So these are the routing guards. So in the next session, what we'll try to learn is about the routing guards, and also we can learn about the resolve also. Or otherwise, we'll try to see whenever I get time. I'll try. So after completing this one, routing guards, we'll try to learn about the subscribe. What is the subscribe and all those things, we have seen it, right? So exactly what is the subscribe and all those things, we'll try to learn it. We'll try to learn about the routing guards. In the next session, we'll try to see it. So this is all about the Angular routing. So this is the main core concept, how we can navigate through the pages and all those things. So this is the core concept, how we can navigate these all the things, and how we can navigate through the logic file and through the template file and all those things. So this is the concept, Angular routing. Next session you'll learn about the Angular routing guards, what are available, what is a routing guard, and how it is useful for the routing. Let's try to learn it in the next session. I don't want to confuse you. We'll try to learn it. So then afterwards we can learn one by one.